time to say hello, ladies and gentlemen. If you're just joining us, give us a signal and tell us how you will get in the signal. If I am not loud enough, I will make some type of adjustment. But I'm pretty sure we are loud enough tonight, folks. And this is how we want to say a big welcome to another exciting edition of the program Ashford, Garley Live on BridgeRadioAfrica.com and Bridge Radio Africa Facebook page. Folks, I'm telling you, today is Tuesday, and it feels great to be back to doing what I love to do. You know, I want to say a big thanks to all of you, as always, that you take off time of your schedule just to form part of the show. You know, this is what we're going to do tonight. Listen, I don't have the option to share the video. I want you to please share the video as much as you can, because the friends you have are not also my friends, okay? Now, I had a talk with Wambuduke. He wants me to move to Nigeria. He wants me to denounce my U.S. and Liberian citizenship. We both will move to Nigeria, and folks, that's why I am dressed the way I am dressed tonight. Because we will go to Nigeria, and he promised that I will be the chairman of the Nigeria Elections Commission. With that, he will be my co-chair. When we remove the setting president of Nigeria, Buhari, now we are going to come back to Liberia and try to make George Weah president of Nigeria also. So George Weah will be president for Nigeria and Liberia. So when Abuduke said Ashford, I am telling you, my brother, the Liberian people are useless. You know why George Weah put me there as chair? You know why George Weah wants me to be chair? Folks, I'm telling you, you need to listen to some of the reasons why George Weah wants this man to be chairman of the National Elections Commission. I've got the info. Invite a few friends. Very shortly, we're going to go to Information Highway. Listen to Mrs. Letty Brooks Rabbit as she brings us up to speed about the COVID-19. We'll go to Liberia, get the news bulletin. And folks, you just don't want to make the show tonight. You just don't want to miss the show tonight. We have got lots of goodies for you. If it means that I have to denounce my U.S. citizenship, if it means that I have to denounce my Liberian citizenship, now I will no longer be a Liberian American. I will be a Liberian American Nigerian. Folks, I'm telling you, we've got it for you coming tonight. Grab something to drink, grab something to eat. Folks, get the popcorn ready. This is yours truly, the brother who doesn't eat iron. But I'm definitely stronger than a lion. As for the giant, that now you know me, one copy, Garley. Let's have fun.
Good evening, Mr. Garley. Can you hear me?
Hey, that's right, ladies and gentlemen. Once again, we'd like to say a big welcome to Ashford Garley Live on this beautiful Tuesday night. And at this time, we want to join Information Highway, where Mrs. Letty Brooks Rabbit is standing by. Letty, good evening and welcome to the show.
Yes, good evening, Mr. Garley. Good evening, Bridge Radio family. Thank you all for joining us.
You might just want to please speak up a little bit louder. You're coming in very low. Increase the volume, please.
Good evening and welcome to another exciting edition of the Bridge Radio Africa family. Thank you, Mr. Garley, for having me on your platform. We want to say thank you to all of you for joining. We want you to please make yourselves comfortable. Again, on this terrific Tuesday, we want you to know that you're all welcome and we hope you had a wonderful day despite all of the bad news. This show is for a mature audience. So we ask that you please be 21 years and older. Lastly, but not least, we ask that you please be respectful of one another and most importantly, please be respectful of our guests and of course our host. Thank you all for joining and also take note that we do have Bridge Radio Spotlight. Thank you.
Thank you.
Back to you.
Again, that's the voice of Mrs. Letty Brooks Rabbits out of Information Highway. And for just so you know, this is the season where you can say anything. We are asking you if you're interested. Now, something I want to bring to you tonight. Just so you know, we have just incorporated a recording studio. So, for example, if you want to do a message, whether you are a political party, whether you are the advocacy group, you are a musician and you want to say something out there to the people, Bridge Radio Africa is here for you. Just with a little bit of donation, we will produce that, whether it's 60-second or 30-second or 3-minute or 5-minute hour that you want to do. We'll produce that for you, and of course, people hear your message because we are all in this crisis together. So you heard from the COP, the Council of Patriots. They are sponsoring an ad that has been played. And we have also introduced a program called Bridge Spotlight. Bridge Spotlight is a 30-minute program where you will come and talk about politics, entertainment, advocacy, social issue. We'll play host to you. And of course, Bridge Spotlights comes on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. So we're here from Monday through Thursdays. Okay, and that's the regular program, Ashford Garley Live. Then on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. This Saturday we have Mr. Jeremiah Silly out of Indiana. This guy is working on his PhD. He's studying medicine, and he would tell us a little bit about himself. How did he get started into the business? Last week we had Mr. G. Othello Yene, and the last time I checked, the podcast that we did for 20 minutes. We have almost 4,000 people that viewed that podcast and counted, because he's a very sound young man. He's politically inclined, and he also knows about the issues when it comes to social and when it also comes to advocacy. So he's one of the brains that we have in our midst. Mr. G. Othello Unit opened up the room for Bridge Spotlight. I know you are in business. You have restaurants. You want to go back home and do something. Bridge Spotlight can bring you up to speed. And I just spoke to another brother. He's a politician, and he wants to appear on Bridge Spotlight as well. So, I mean, come on. We have room here to grow. We can't just do all the talking. I know you people have interest in your country, Liberia, and at the end of the day, we are all in this together. Okay, you know, for the length of time I have been in this business, I am not looking for popularity anymore. I am here to mold the minds of the upcoming brothers and sisters who have interest into broadcasting. I have made my marks. Their radio business took me from Liberia and brought me in the broad. I'm telling you. So it's not like I'm trying to be known. That's why you don't see our name all over the place. We are building institution here. You see, Bridge Radio Africa. If we, as an institution, can provide employment for 5 people in Liberia. Providing employment is one thing, but getting the salaries on time is very vital. We live in a country where we work hard and get paid on time. Why shouldn't we do the same to others? You know, I went to Liberia 2016 and I decided to visit the salaried and to employ, and people start telling me, don't transport the price here. Don't get it pure too much money, they'll be first kill. That's how evil we are to our own people. They don't deserve better. That's what we think. That's why I don't want to be a politician. That's why I don't want to hold a government job. Because these politicians are so evil. They are so wicked to their own people. This has become self-interest. It's all about themselves. They don't give a damn about you. You vote for them today, tomorrow they see you as if they haven't seen you before. They waste dirty water in your face and pass by you. But then they will go and come back after 4 to 6 years. They'll go back to you and say, please re-elect me. That's just how evil politicians, specifically Liberians, that's how they are. And have no respect for Liberian politicians. They don't mean well for the country. They don't mean well for the people of Liberia. Today, when George Weah leaves, the next person that comes on, he will do the same thing or even worse than George Weah. Don't mind the politics. My father, my late father, had the opportunity to be one of the wealthiest men in Liberia. But guess what? My father never owned a car. My father was a crime man. He never owned a vehicle in Liberia. He had the opportunity. He was corporal in the Liberian National Police. When Doe came to power, because Doe's mother used to live in our house in Jalatown, my father became captain. And he was the sheriff for Moserado County. They would bring cases down there. People would be in court. My father will host the jury. The jury will be down there, under there at the time of the justice. They will come and attempt to bribe the old man. My father would say, no. What for me will be for me. That was my late father. Doe was president of Liberia. We never had electricity in our house. As a matter of fact, 1987, when I met my wife, my girlfriend at the time, Eloise, I was embarrassed when she was visiting me to my house in Jalatown because our roof was bust open. It was rainy season and water was dropping through the piazza or the living room. I was so embarrassed. I said, they get Kaya, she visit me. She will not come by again. And that's the fundamental reason. That's the only reason why today, even when the woman calls me out, when she get angry and say, you ugly country man, I still with her today, because when she saw me over 34 years ago, she saw me for who I was and not what I had. So she's not behind me because I would cry, man, I would flush it. No, that was not the case. And if I tell you, under the Samuel Doe administration, we were just the regular people. You won't believe this. And there was this sectionalism, this selective things started going on. They started taking people who were the criminal crime. You can't understand crime, but in crime they say, "Bass is my boy, it's my yeah." In other words, the dumb boy in get soup, that deeper will get soup. But I say, "Smaye boy, smaye." So if you didn't come from the Samuel Doe side, if you didn't come from the Nessie Doe side, you were nothing. And because Samuel Doe Samedo's mother lived in that house in Jalatown. When the war came, that house was burned down. 3 weeks after Samedo became president, guess what? His mother and those that were close to Samedo, they moved to Matadi Estate, but we were still in Jalatown. And that's why when I come on and tell you, say, listen, you can't ask God where you want to be from. But I'm telling you, my Liberian people, all is not lost. This is the one country that we have. People that didn't learn from the Doe's administration, the Tiller's time, and Ellen Johnson Sirleaf time, wake up, smell the coffee. I'm getting ahead of myself here. I want to see if we can go to Liberia and connect with Miss Angel Morris as she brings us the news bulletin. And we're hoping that Angel is up getting ready for the newscast tonight. And folks, I'm telling you, you ain't yet nothing. We've got a lot of goodies in store for you tonight. So just stick and stay with us. Ladies and gentlemen, at this time, please join us as we welcome Miss Angel Morris from Arufa Liberia with the news bulletin. Angel, good evening and welcome to the show.
Good evening, Mr. Garley, and a pleasant good evening to all of our many listeners and viewers across the world. I would love to welcome you to Bridge Radio Africa News Bulletin. My name is Angel Morris, presenting from Monrovia, Liberia. In our headlines today, in an effort to help fight COVID-19 in Liberia, today, March 31st, 2020, Orange Liberia donated 50,000 United States dollars worth medical and non-medical items to the government of Liberia through the National Public Health Institute of Liberia. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Internal Affairs, has donated 60,000 United States dollars assorted sanitary materials to superintendents of the 15 counties as part of the efforts aimed at fighting the spread of the coronavirus in the country. These were the headlines, now the news in details. In an effort to help fight the coronavirus in Liberia, today, March 31st, 2020, Orange Liberia donated 50,000 United States dollars worth medical and non-medical items to the government of Liberia through the National Public Health Institute of Liberia. According to them, these items are specifically for the 14 military hospital in the fight against the coronavirus pandemic. Meanwhile, Orange Liberia is encouraging Liberians across the length and breadth of this country to stay safe by observing all preventive measures. The government of Japan has approved 217,780 United States dollars for the commencement of the Modern Douala Market project. Phase 1 of the Modern Douala Market project will include the following: fencing, lighting or electricity, construction of reservoir and pit latrines. In a foreign ministry release today, the objective of the construction of a modern Douala market is to decongest the corridor for the easy movement of goods and services, also to accelerate economic activities in that part of the country and its immediate surroundings. Meanwhile, the release further disclosed that the phase 2 of this project comprises of 3-story market building, which will have a parking lot, office space, and a concrete garbage disposal site. This modern Douala market, according to them, will accommodate a little over 5,000 marketers. The government of Liberia, through the Ministry of Internal Affairs, has donated 60,000 United States dollars assorted sanitary materials to superintendents of the 15 counties as part of the efforts aimed at fighting the spread of COVID-19 in Liberia. According to Liberia's Internal Affairs Minister, Vanny Sirleaf, those materials were purchased with funds intended to facilitate President Weah's county tour that has been put on hold amid the coronavirus outbreak in the world. Minister Salif delivering the materials, which include 4,400 pieces of plastic buckets, 825 cartons of bleach chloride, and 825 cartons of soaps, urged the superintendents to ensure that they use the materials for its intended purpose. As the fight against COVID-19 continues in the world, Liberia too has joined Guinea and Ivory Coast to shut down its borders with both nations, including airports, as they battle to eliminate the spread of the coronavirus. Liberia, Guinea, and Ivory Coast are sisterly nations to the Mano River Union, which is within the ECOWAS region. Meanwhile, Ivory Coast was the first among the three sister countries to close down its borders, followed by Guinea, and then Liberia took up the step on Monday, March 30, 2020. And that does it for our short news bulletin here at Newsbridge Radio Africa. My name is Angel Morris, and it's over to you, Mr. Garley, for the continuation of the program.
Miss Morris, as always, we want to say a big thanks to you for taking the time. And you should have been in bed tonight, but because of your professionalism and because of your love for broadcasting and journalism, you are up tonight. What else is going on in the news? Bring us up to speed about some training issues in Liberia.
Okay, so once again, I would love to say thank you very much for the opportunity always given me. Well, there are lots more going on in Liberia, but firstly, in the wake of the coronavirus outbreak in the country, the Alternative National Congress political leader, Ms. Alexander Cummings, today donated food items and anti-COVID-19 materials to a orphanage home in Kakata, Magibi County. And according to the political leader, he believes that we should talk less and do more, meaning implementations are very much important. While he was distributing these materials, he said to the people that there are a lot more coming up from him and that everything will be all right. And secondly, here through the updates, the Senate's final confirmation hearing for President Weah's nominee to the National Elections Commission as chairman designate has been postponed till April 1st of 2020 as the committee meets with political parties in ways forward. So what we are trying to say here is that the final hearing for Councillor Dubuzi Wabudiki was supposed to be today, but it was postponed for tomorrow because the House of Senate had to have a special hearing wherein they needed to talk about some political issues in regards to the coalitions for democratic change. And in this hearing today, the chairman of the CDC, Mr. Moba Molu, was invited, and he actually talked about some national issues. He answered some questions also in regards to the nomination. And another thing here is that Representative Akaros Gray spoke today after the Senate hearing, and he is challenging all senators to adequately act of facts and not speculations. So what do we mean? Minister Gray, in his words, said senators should actually act in facts. Okay, it's not because they are hearing speculations that Councillor Dubuzi is not a Liberian, and all of the Liberian citizens, or let me just say majority of Liberians, are saying if Dubuzi is elected or is nominated to be heading the National Elections Commission, basically because he's a Nigerian, it's not going to be fair. So this is what Representative Akaros Gray was saying to his fellow senators, that they should not listen to whatever the public has to say, but they should look into the facts.
Well,
so, Mr. Go ahead, sir.
Not because you work with British Radio Africa, but I just want to applaud you for your balance of storage. You are giving it to us as you see and hear it, and I think that's professional journalism, and the fact that you're in Liberia and you work for British Radio, but you're still being objective and balanced. And I think other local Liberian journalists should emulate your good example. You would have said, I'm not going to say this, but you are clear, you're professional, and you are all about your passion for journalism, and I just hope others can do the same. Okay. With that said, three things happened today. We saw Jefferson Koji,
Sure.
despite the health ministry's uh, advice for people to do social distancing.
Mm-hmm.
Jefferson Koji was saying today in a campaign mode,
Mm-hmm.
a lot of people close together, not even observing social distancing. Number two, the United States of America just dispatched the second ship to evacuate Americans from Liberia. That alone should be concerning. Number three, the United States of America, knowing full well that Liberia is supposed to be the stepchild of America, send assistance, send out money to other countries. They left out Liberia and left out Sierra Leone. Those three things alone should be concerning. I know
Sure.
the cases regarding the virus are limited in Liberia and Sierra Leone, but then you just don't know when you have a president who cares about himself. This is not you talking now. This is me talking as Ashford Garley. You have a president who cares about himself and not the people. Despite the overwhelming crowd from everywhere in the world, people are calling you to do social distancing. You don't see Joe Biden or Sanders running campaign as to, yeah, I gotta be president. They will criticize where they need to. This is a global pandemic. For Jefferson Koji to risk the lives of the young people in that country in this time. Miss Morris, what is your take?
Yes, sir. Mr. Garley, I was about talking about the same situation. Mr. Jefferson Koji, this is not the first time of this particular behavior of his. This is the third time, if my record can set me right. Remember, we talked about it after the press conference.
That's right.
Mr. Jefferson Koji was in that same attire. He held another gathering. A lot of people talked about it. Even Kimmy Weeks criticized that behavior of his. So I think Mr. Jefferson Koji needs to be cautioned because he is a city mayor of Monrovia. He needs to be an example. And if he continues like this, it is really, really not good for the health crisis that is currently ongoing in the world. So you see, Mr. Gale, this is very bad of our leaders. And this is what the Alternative National Congress political leader was saying today when he was distributing his materials. He said, we need to talk less and do more. And well done is better than well said. So you see, the health practitioners and health authorities have given us measures to practice, measures for us to implement. You, as a whole city mayor of Monrovia, you should be a lead advocate in ensuring that all of these measures are put into place. But instead, he's an opposite of the whole thing. So you see, this is very bad of Liberia.
Okay, and folks, again, this is Angel Marriage from West Africa, Liberia. Is there anything else you have to say, Angel, just before we have you call it a night?
No, 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 no. We don't have nothing. Just want to keep our viewers alert, pardon me, that tomorrow, after Mr. Koji sprayed water side today, Reach Radio Africa is gonna go to Waterside tomorrow and take off some views about some of the things he did because he sprayed the entire market today. The whole place was flooded with water with reasons best known to himself. I don't know why he decided to take that particular action. So Breach Radio Africa is going to be in Waterside tomorrow and also Red Light. We're going to be observing how people are going through with the social distancing and how people are coping with some health measures.
Okay, again, folks, that's Miss Angel Marriage from West Africa, Liberia. Our producer back home making her presence known tonight on Brace Radio Africa.com and Brace Radio Africa on our Facebook page. Thank you so much, Miss Morris, and enjoy the rest of the night. I'm pretty sure you are on watching as well.
Sure, sure, sure. Okay,
Okay,
goodbye.
now we want to segue to go to Information Highway, and at Information Highway we have Mrs. Letty Brooks Rabbits, who will read out a few comments and will also give us some stats as it relates to COVID-19. Mrs. Letty Brooks Rabbits want to say good evening and welcome back to the show.
Thank you, Mr. Garley, and thank you, Angel, for that summary of the news. We have the stats here for coronavirus cases as of Tuesday, March 31st, here in the world. The total cases today are 809,600, with a total death of 39,545. Here in the United States, we have a total of 165,800 cases, 3,178 deaths, according to the CDC report. Philadelphia has a total of 1,315 cases with 9 deaths. Pennsylvania, 4,843 with 63 deaths. New York City alone has the total of 40,900 and a total death of 932. New York State has 75,795 cases and 1,550 dead bodies. New Jersey, where I am, has 18,996 cases, 267. Mr. Garley, that's the statistic as it relates to COVID-19. And in few of our countries, we have that Mexico announces the health emergency as cases climb past 1,000. I have in Germany, the corona cases rise up to 61,913. We have now the first coronavirus death reported in Tanzania. Tanzania reports its first death from coronavirus. So this pandemic is just taking the world by storm. But I want to stop here, and I'm going to read a few of your comments. And Mr. Garley, I will start with our first comment of the night. It says, Miss Carmen Cooper, I am around. Wusu Benson, good evening, Mr. Ashford. I am watching you now. Keep it up. Please be safe. Liberia needs you. We have Dr. Mariah Seaton watching. We also have Ms. Vivian Eastman. She says, hello, everyone. We are back again to keep our sanity. Yes. We have Jerome Roberts. What? Born R. we chewing today? What bone? I think he means bone. What bone are we chewing today? Kalon Zayed. Dear CDC, dear CDC, dear CDC. Agba Mamolu, he says, this is the day that the Lord has made. I am listening from Washington, D.C. Kalon Zayed, that will be good for you. Just leave my sis L here, please. Moon Kapusi, watching from Charlotte, North Carolina. We have Igwe Superwati watching. She says sedition Kane. We have Paul Smith is watching from Philadelphia, the city of brotherly love. My Dylan son, Kalon Zeyi, you are always following. That's good. Eugene Harry watching from Minnesota. Welcome, family. Gifty Alberta White. I'm here. I'm waiting to hear how. Oh, Kalon Zeye replying to Mandela's son. The fire is always here, bro. Then we have Elder James C. Blackie Jr. is watching. We have Miss Hawa Pepper Mesa is here. Anita Say is watching from New Jersey. Patience W. Chie, Hawa, call you, please call me. Mandela's son, nice outfit, the giant. Verba Philippou. Good evening, everyone. I am in the house. We have Byron Ennis. He says, she says, I'm watching my show, Bridge Radio. Thank you, my brother. Ashford, God bless you, my brother.
That's right. Two more comments, please.
Our Meska replying to Patience W. Patience, cheer. How are you, dear? Sure, I can. We have Elizabeth Victoria Dempster. Good to know. Amen.
Thank you.
Say welcome to you all. Back to you, Mr. Garley.
Thank you so much, folks, and thank you so much, Mrs. Rabbits. I told you. No Dubusi, one Bodeke wants me to move to Nigeria, and he said, Ashford, you can come to Nigeria and become the chairman of Nigeria Elections Commission. So I am ready. I will denounce my Liberian citizenship. I will also denounce my U.S. citizenship. I will no longer be called Liberian American. I will now be called Liberian American Nigerian. Oh, folks, I'm telling you. And he said, when you are coming, you have to dress like a Nigerian. And you don't forget the coyote. I said, you got it. When I bought the cake. Mr. Emmanuel Decola is in the building. We are looking for a sponsor for tonight's show. It will not be easy tonight. Who do you think going to win tonight? Do you think the Senate will win against the commissioners? You want to know George Weah's plan? George Weah is a very smart criminal. This is what George Weah is trying to do. I will have these people focus on Wayne Bodeke. At the end of the day, we will confirm the rest of the commissioners. We will take Wayne Bodeke out. When Floss Sayon, Deviata Lasana, Deviata Brown Lasana, Josephine Kou Gay, the woman who can cook Baya, the woman who can cook GB, the woman who knows what's going on, the woman who voted. They selected her because she's a woman. Basi Kpengba. Folks, you think this is a joke? George Weah has a very serious plan. And to the opposition politicians, if you know what I know, even with the absence of Wan Boduke, who had just invited me to Nigeria, if you mean well for that country, if you allow George Weah to confirm or to pray on the senators to confront those people, George Weah will be there for a long time. Listen, y'all need to come together as opposition politicians and bring big grandma. Because when you put the opposition together, you're well bigger than CDC. Y'all bring grandma. If this man would just put on the seditions to be commissioners, commission center there, you'll forget it. Your man can't cry later. This boy has a plan. This boy has tasted power before. George Weah was senator. He had big top in his bathroom. When you do number two, then they would take a bucket and put it in the top and flush it. Come on. Today George Weah is rich again. You made the former rich man rich. You see that fun? Let me give you the lineup of these players and let me explain to you the conversation between me and Wan Boduke. Going to Nigeria. This guy said, Ashford, you are going to be the chairman of the Nigeria Election Commission. Then I said, then you will be the co-chair. He said, no problem. So I will be the chairman of the Nigeria Election Commission. Wan Boduke will be the co-chair. And then we'll remove Buhari, the president of Nigeria. Guess what? George Weah will be president of Nigeria, and George Weah will also be president of Liberia at the same time. Wan Boduke also said the reason why George Weah selected him is because when you see donations coming from Nigeria, UBA is a Nigerian bank, GT Bank is a Nigerian bank. The $20,000 US, the $150,000 US, it was because of Wan Boduke. So he's playing a very serious role here to get George Weah some money. The RIA Road Project, Wan Boduke hand inside too. So you know George Weah is a BM. It's very crooked. He said, I would try my best to do this for you. But if the people reject you, do not blame me. Wan Boduke said yes. But at the end of the day, folks, we are hearing. You know the people don't keep saying everything will leak. They will not allow Wan Boduke to be the chairman. For all the other people, they will accept them. Even the ones that are just there because they can shake from the waist below. You know nothing. You know it from both fronts. So because you say I am a woman, I know what's going on, I voted before. They ask you, what you think the number one problem in the National Election Commission, you say that coronavirus. That the kind of people will come and put there as commissioner, my people. You think George Weah does not know what he's doing? Flossing of all people. The man is sitting there telling you, say, I am a commissioner today because I cheated for George Weah. Deviata Brown, Deviata Lasana Brown. You know, they got some big girls and who are cougar. They're not young boys. And this woman was working with ERBC from the 80s. When George Weah just started playing playing football. You know, when George Weah started at that time, you know, footballers are the most useless people on earth. They're grown out like hell. And when you fit, you athletic, you can be hard to come. So the big girls that need to go on the field when IE playing, when George Weah on the field, man. When Lone stop playing, when George Weah is on the field. You see Dariana Brown, Lasana, they're on the field there for George Weah. They started eating something way back. And today,
I said, people they tell me, but I don't.
I'm telling you,
Today I believe. But man, you want
George Weah does not discriminate.
some call where you go catch you for bed.
You young or you old.
Wow.
All he wants to do is to shake from the waist below.
Go chapel. That money. You go see.
And Dariana Lasana Brown today will be the co-chair of NEC. And you think George Weah will not have a shot of it? Floor sale. Our chair who does anything George Weah tells him. To get some type of payment, he asked George Weah to hire his girlfriend. This young lady that can barely express herself. Can you imagine? You go answer, the woman memorized her answer and all. So she went with a ballroom or cheat sheet. They're asking you a question, then you're looking down. So how you plan to be the best? Why you think you were selected as one of the best to be a commissioner? I can call GB. I'm a woman. I know what's going on. I voted. So they ask her again, they say, but what do you think the number one issue now all around that in here now? National Investment Commission. Why you can change? What is that one thing you can change? She's like that coronavirus. What coronavirus got to do with the National Investment Commission again, my people? Jesus Christ. Oh man. We have Vanny Sherman this afternoon, aka Big Ball 1, Big Ball 2. Meton Tiaje, Oscar Cooper, Darius DeLong. The light is in the building. Abo chair, he will only hire you when you can shake from the waist below. Prince Johnson, aka Murder. Sandro Johnson, aka Iso. Coming to Wise, Maurice Tuma, Senator Watson, Bay, Senator Yala, Steve Zacco, Yombli Kanga. Music. Global Brown, Peter Coleman, Senator Tembe, Sir Joseph, Small with big stomach. The boy loves to eat. The only question he can ask is whether the woman can call GB. Whether she has paper to being a citizen of Nima County. Who go around asking you whether you gotta show people before you will know that you're citizen from that county? That's like yourself.
I thought the man listening on.
Floor sale.
Wait, they start married.
I was not found guilty of anything. I am in this position today as commissioner because
money matter.
I cheated for George Weah.
From the man in pocket.
And because of that, George Weah promised that he was going to make me commissioner.
For Abakaleke. Abi. Now money. You go children for go school.
Josephine Kowu Gay.
Abi.
I can call GB.
And by where you go job before you go for work?
Because growing up as a small little girl, I started calling Paya. What they call Paya, my people?
Your children go job. Abi. Now money.
I voted. I know what's going on. Now I know what is going on. I know what's going on. I mean, we got some people from Nima County, like Valerie Wilson and them, you know? And they can call and say, Miss Valerie Wilson, can you come and be a commissioner? But you poor Mumu. You poor somebody we know here from Beaufort. Because the person is first came from the west below. And they empty from the chest above. Then they can be commissioner now in this country. In Liberia. Councilor Ernestine Markin Howard. She said all protocols are observed, man. The woman Bible says she came to repair some things. She came to do some repairs at the National Election Commission. So, Senator Yara said, my sister, but what in sport that you came to repair so? What can you remember that you want to talk to us about some repair? She said in 1985, there was election. I also remember there was a coup. I remember my father picked me up from school and dropped me home. And this father never returned. That's all I remember. But you said you were coming to repair some things at the National Election Commission. Don't twist my words. I was not specific when I said I was coming to repair some things here. The National Election Commission. But there was the peace accord. What happened? We changed the judicial system. I've been in the system since 2007. Hey, the Ashford got it wrong. You just talk to him, you gotta look at it. You gotta read something. He just say it. You talk to him one time, you part of him. This young lady considered Ernestine Morgan Hour. She is hopelessly educated. This lady will come to Walmart for a job interview and she will fail the interview because of her arrogance, overly confident. You hear it all over the place. See, now he made no sense. You just talking it. Jesus Christ. Hey, Liberia. Let me tell you something. This is very serious. There will be no free and fair elections with George Weah as president. With these commissioners take out one Bodoke. But these commissioners with George Weah, there will be no free and fair elections. Opposition politician, if you mean business, you bring grandma. This boy's playing for Liberia. He wants to be president for a long time. And if you think that will floss here, Josephine called gay. Deviator Brown Lasana. Basi Kwengba. If you think that you have a shot winning against George Weah, then you have to think again. Ayaka. Who determines whether CDC will win the election or not? It will have to be Josephine Kouge. The woman who can cook fire. The woman who knows how to shake from the waist below. The woman who can think from the waist below and not from the chest above. Ayaka. The boy Floss Sayer who said to people, it's over. I don't care what they think. I will be confirmed. If you think this is a joke, thanks fully. Alexander Kume is in the gym now. You saw him when he came from quarantine. Now you see him flexing his muscle. Alexander Kume working out now. The working out is not enough, Alex. ABC working out alone is not enough. Joe Boyka, Bernard Ure, Yogli Kanga, and the rest of the opposition political parties. If you mean well, if you think you can have a shot at this thing, these commissioners, you depend on them. I'm sorry for you. So I had the opportunity to hang out with Austin, Undubusi, Wamburike. He said, Ashford, this is what we're going to do. He said, I have invested a lot, my brother. He said, the $20,000 that came from GT Bank, I know about it. The $150,000 that came from UBA, I'm also involved. He said the RIA road project to build from RIA to EWA Junction, I also helped. So I said to him, I said, one Budike. I said, after coronavirus, I will denounce my U.S. citizenship. I will now be a Liberian American Nigerian. Then he said, what position do you want when we go to Nigeria? I said, I want to be the chairman of the Nigeria Election Commission. And then I said to him, Wan Budike, you will be the co-chair. He said, no problem. He said, we'll do corruption. We'll remove Buhari. And guess what? I said, what? He said, we'll bring George Weah to be president of Nigeria, the superpower of Africa. He said, George Weah will be president of Nigeria, and George Weah will be president of Liberia at the same time. I said, how can you do that? He said, when you are president of Nigeria, you control all of Africa. I said, what? So I said to him, I said, Wan Budike, I said, let me tell you this. He said, Ashford, what you want to say? I said, George Weah is a 419er. He doesn't care about you now. I said, Wan Budike. He said, why, Ashford? I said, leave and go to Nigeria now. He said, why are you telling me? I said, if you don't leave now, you will not be bachelor. George Weah will send you to jail. This George Weah man is heartless. This George Weah man does not give a damn of people who help him in the past. So the fact that the Vanishema have discovered that you are not a Liberian, when you continue to hang around in Liberia, George Weah will order your arrest. Even though you have helped George Weah through UBA and GT Bank, but your problem now is not George Weah's problem. George Weah has tried. He has sent your name, and the people were very smart. He said, what happened? I said, Wan Budike, how can you tell the people you were born in 1965, you naturalized in 1982, between 1965 and 1982 and 2020, do you know that between 1965 and 1982, you would have been 17 years old, and the Liberian law say you had to be 21 years old. And I said to Wan Budike, I said, because of that, you are not going to be the chairman of the National Election Commission. And George Weah himself knows this. He said, ah! I said, yeah, Wan Budike. He said, Ashford, are you serious? I said, Leah, unwe go. The ball comes to Wan Budike. Wan Budike beats woman to Joseph in Kouge. Joseph in Kouge back to Wan Budike. Wan Budike to the wedding Lasana Brown. Lasana Brown, Lasana, was she making? No, she doesn't. The ball comes to Ernestine. Mocking hour. Was she making? She's moving deep in the out of the field. Then the ball comes to Flossie. Flossie, a beast woman, puts it up for the turn back. He has been intercepted by Councilor Vanny Sherman onto Darius Dillon. Darius Dillon double shovel. Skinny legs, very tough talking. Darius Dillon breaks the ball. He look in the crowd. Then he sees Molba Molu in Akara's grave. Modern Molu comes out and says, that was alone. In 1781, you're asking that strange thing. A Nigerian was a president in Liberia. On the two-week party. Leadership. 1871. That was General with Drow said. He break the ball, he stand up. He said, I will show you why they come in the light. Because that didn't get that on. So now when he talking to you, he can't hear more. He said, dear CDC. That was speaking. He said, dear CDC. The Constitution of Liberia in 1871 is quite different from the Constitution of Liberia.
Everything where you go do, the money matter.
In 1986.
This
is what I've been talking so.
Where you go down for Abakaleke.
So they said because a Liberian or Nigerian was president in 1871. So you think now he can be president again in 2020, or he can decide who becomes president in 2020? Oh man. The Accra's great then. You know when Accra's great small opium, he know what in the toilet. That thought nonsense. Anybody from the Negro descent can be shut the hell up. Opium smelling all over the damn place. They're smoking some opium, yeah. They're smoking some opium, yeah.
Everything, now money.
Back to Interstate Walking Hour. She beats woman. Post it up for the term, the boy come to the way of the brown last Sunday. Was she making though she doesn't? Then the boy come to Josephine Kowuge. And they asked her, Josephine Kowuge, where you were before? You claim that you are one of the most qualified people to be commissioner. Where did you work before? Josephine Kowuge is telling the people that she worked as sales analyst at LPRC. For just a few months. Because she didn't know air from Bofra, and she wouldn't knew how to shake from the waist below the fire hall. She talking about integrity. Abache has a wife. You be an Abache. Abache is a married man. Where is the integrity there? So you wouldn't go for girlfriend, you won't go for wife? Josephine Kowuge. You won't be commissioner? You think that will be free and fair election in that country? Josephine Kowuge. Come on. That's sound sister here from Nima County. Valerie Wilson and then. They can't call them. Look, there are few sound women. You take them to that National Election Commission or you take them to the Senate to ask them questions. It will be so boring for them. And the Valerie Wilson. And the Eloise Elite Garley. Letty Brooks Roberts, Patricia Peters, Yasendi. These are sound young ladies. Francine Richardson and them. I mean, the senator then so dull. I don't know because they get their money before. They asking questions. How can you ask somebody who wants to be commissioner? All right? Of the National Election Commission, you're asking the person whether the person can code GB. Is that question to ask the person? Can you code GB? You have any paper to show me that you're from Nima County? These are the questions senators are asking, folks. What kind of nonsense is this? Where are we headed? No abogete. And I said to him, if you don't leave Liberia now, Joshua will send you to jail. Because what you did yesterday at the Senate, perjury.
Money matter. Hey, from the money pocket.
Fraud. You lied on an oath. You are not a Liberian citizen. And then you say, Ashford, let's go to Nigeria. I said, where are we going for? He said, you are going to be the chairman of the Nigerian Election Commission. I said, really? You said, I can make anything happen. You sure? You said, let's go. So now, folks, as of today, I will now be called a Liberian American Nigerian. Because when Abuduke is taking me to Nigeria, we are going there and I will be the chairman of the Nigerian Election Commission. When Abuduke will be my co-chair.
You go chapel, now money. You go single, now money.
We'll get rid of Buhari. We'll bring George Weah to be the president of Nigeria. George Weah will be the president of Nigeria and the president of Liberia at the same time. But on a very serious note, folks, Americans are leaving Liberia. As we speak now, they just sent a second ship to evacuate Americans from Liberia. This is damn serious. What Jefferson Koji is going out, showing out, not listening to social distancing, getting people in group. Your president. When the last time you heard George Weah spoke? This is very serious, folks. I'm telling you. Does this man mean well for Liberia? Amen. Back to the field of play. But just before that, we're going to go back and read some more comments. I know that Mrs. Lexi Brooks Roberts right now is killing herself. The editor James C. Blythe Jr. is also on here tonight. Josh Lobo. And folks, I'm telling you, this is BridgeRadioAfrica.com. Oh, man. Mrs. Roberts, read us some more comments, please.
Yes. Okay, Mr. Garley. Igwe. So we have Miss Matilda Worry. She's watching from Bowie, Maryland. Sophia Johnson Mason. Is that his name? Emmanuel Decola. Today game is hot. Orita Bailey. Ha ha ha. Funny. We have Eloise Sally Garley replying to Alberta. And I can cook GB. Madam Betty Bayan, she says it is surprising that we have not heard nonsense from ungrateful Cobra concerning this hearing. It looks like this won't fool her mouth. The way she can talk plenty like that. Then we have Eddie Gay. He's replying to Nana. No, never will that nonsense happy in our country. Florence Coley replying to Florence. Nana Larkin. I know, right? That they all are afraid of each other for their criminal activities. We have Whitful Koba. 1871 Nigeria was called Benin Empire. We have Miss Monica Brandy watching. And we have Madam Betty Bayan replying to Alberta. I'm a woman. I got key to the promised land. And she's running away. Frias Elliott. George Weah ran from his own snake. So he will run from Liberia a week from now. We have Miss Levy Thompson watching. We have the Cash App number and the number to call in, 248-979-1718. Replying to Alberta, Miss Sherry Roberts, she says, and I got chest power up.
Yeah?
Madam Betty Bayan, she says, I didn't want to say it, but Opium King Kong eyes were red again today, like he has eye polo. Orita Bailey, she says she disgraced people from that country who are very smart. Bertha Jordan, I only know how to cook cassava leaf. We have Mr. Amos George watching. And then we have Letty Brooks Robert. She says, thank goodness you told him you will be the Igwe. And then we have Igwe Superwati. She says, the other senator said he got 4 kids, 3 girls and 1 boy. He knew Lasana Brown from BLBC, and good luck to her. That was the question he asked. Sherry Roberts, me, I can cook on butter. Udo Troken Smith, Liberia is a very sick nation. Frida's Elliott, cassava leaf, not for good alone. Elder James C. Bly Jr. In fact, there are few citizens who are embarrassed over the nomination made by their standard bearer, George M. Buya. As we look at the CDC's list, not the entire Liberian list, there are 5 or more citizens that can occupy the seats at the neck without those Buya has named or has nominated. They have Mr. George Toto watching, Orita Bailey, that's Chief Ashford. And then we have Mun Kaposi watching from Charlotte, North Carolina. Patrick Yoko, I am from Maryland. Robert Bayuga, CDC was thinking how to degrade Senator Dillon by calling him Playboy, the man who taught them lesson today. We have Patrick Yoko. We got new updates coming up. Smith, a nation that sells its national pride to foreign agents for $0.50. Igwe Superwati, Dakube, will be elected the next president of the United States of West Africa. Then we have Bridge Radio. Oh, the cash app number, I read it already. Eugene Harry. The time we are supposed to talk to the nation, he better go to the studio. Moses President. Or Moses President.
And that's right, 2 more comments.
Troken Smith. Sure. Troken Smith. Sell our passports to foreigners. Favor highly. I'm doing washing hands at gate 2. Troken Smith. Why sell our passports to foreigners? And last but not least, we have Florence Colley, George Weah. Father name is Sweet Cassava Leaf. Thank you, Mr. Garley. Back to you.
And that's right, the voice of
Oh, I'm sorry. I said Mr. Garley.
Letty Brooks Roberts. Go ahead, man. Yeah, go ahead, man. Were you saying something?
I wanted to call you by your title, Igwe.
Igwe?
Go to Nigeria.
I know, one body case say I should go to the Nigeria so that I can be the chairman of the Nigeria Election Commission, Josephine Kowu Gay, when they ask you why you think you are more qualified to be a commissioner, the woman say, I'm a woman. I can call GB. Before I started cooking GB, I need to cook paya. I say how I went. Why they cook paya? And then she said, they ask her, they say, but what do you think about what do you think happened? What's one of the main problems at the National Election Commission? She said that coronavirus. That woman we know A from both from. who never kept a fitting job before. The only thing she knows is to go from man to man and shift from the waist below. That this kind of woman y'all will make commissioner. That this woman will be one of those people to decide whether or not George Weah will become president for the second term. You are joking. Hey, man. And you know George Weah was very smart. This is what George Weah did. He said, I will put their name there. One Burike. And while they're asking about one Burike, then the senator will go and confirm all the other people. That would be the biggest mistake. Opposition political leaders, y'all more high grandma. Y'all bring big grandma down. Y'all scatter everything. When you allow these people, Flosseyon, Josephine Kou gay, Basi Bangba, Director Brown Lasana, these people, Jelly Unwego. So when Abuduke said to me, Ashford, let's go to Nigeria. You're from Liberia, right? I said, yeah, I'm from Liberia. I was born in Liberia, but I'm a U.S. citizen now. He said, forget about the U.S. citizenship. I said, what do you mean? He said, you are going to be the chairman of the Nigeria Election Commission. He said, I am a lawyer, but I am a crooked lawyer. I know how to get things done. I am a sweet talker. I said, you sure? He said, I sure. I said, no, you sure? He said, yo. I said, ah. Emmanuel Decola. The Cash App is on there. Any little dirty water can put a fire. Don't just enjoy the show. Share the video. Drop something in the Cash App. The number is up there. And folks, I'm telling you, like our page, follow our page. And if you mix the previous broadcast, just go to YouTube and tap in Breach Radio Africa. That now you know me. Aha!
That is why they start married. Now marry man and marry woman. Different subject. Because everything where you go do.
You know, Ernestine Marking Hour. She's a very young, smart, young lady.
Where you go do?
Hey, something I drabble. Hey, yeah. Hey, Castle Peawood. Thank you so much, my brother. God bless you. Any dirty water can put a fire. Be like Castle Peawood. He just visited the Cash App. First, I'm telling you, they say when God bless you, don't say that bless you. Don't see okra and salad bowl. You know the Ernestine Marking, our little girl. Her mom had a little restaurant right around Vamoma. After you pass Vamoma and Chap went to the right inside there. All the woman can cook. Miss Marking can cook.
I said,
this little girl went to CWA. She's a smart little girl. Her husband now, he's selling goldsmith. They call him Barry Hour. He got a goldsmith shop right on Broad Street. He used to have to play on Broad Street, but he moved on 5th Street now. That Ernestine husband there. You know, the little girl is so overconfident. That arrogance, sometimes you gotta leave that arrogance behind. From the way I heard her get answering questions, she can't go to Walmart or Target. She will not pass your interview. They say hello. She said, don't say hello to me in a day. Say hello to me in a night. And don't call me on the weekend, because when the weekend can get drunk. When I get drunk, when you call me, I will cuss you out. That's the kind of person she is. She said in 1985, there was election. That I remember. I also remember that there was a coup. I also remember my father picked me up from school and dropping me off at home. That I remember. But then why you think about the National Election Commission? She said, I came to repair. So this woman now, who is a lawyer, she's assassinated, became mechanic now. She came to repair some things now as mechanic, the commissioner mechanic. Kalon Zai. Hey God, my mom's label. But thanks for the contribution. I know you're enjoying the show. That's why you made that contribution. If you get friends then with the government, you're on your own. Anybody who contribute, I will call you in here. Thank you. Hey, God. What did you come to repair? Did you notice that something was broken? She said, no. When I say I came to repair something, I was not specific. But what I can tell you, I'm a lawyer. And with me being a lawyer, a lot of things went on in 2003. I said, we see trouble. Here? Sharon Kepa. Thank you so much, my sister. I said the cash are dropping. Now what jealous people don't let it hear. When you do something for the people to contribute towards your program, they will contribute. We all can't be the same. There's something unique that we are doing. We have people employed in Liberia, and we have to pay them, and we'll pay them on time too. The people that work for British Radio Africa in Liberia, they will get their money on time. Because we live here in America, we get paid on time, right? Look, I almost shed tears when I went to Liberia. And some people started working for me, and the person I went to work with telling me, say, don't pay the people on time. When you get into my money, they'll be first kill. What? How wicked can we be to our own people? You know how many people have said to me that they went to Liberia to suffer? They're working for George Weah. They said we came to Liberia to suffer. They said the man is all by himself. The man doesn't give a damn. And for the people that work for him, the people that are taking care of him. Look, the worst thing you can do is to make a former rich man rich again. And the problem we see now. Hey, God, please confuse me. The day I say I want to get government job, confuse me. I want to change people's lives through British Radio Africa. I want to pay people. I want to hire people to do what they love to do in terms of radio and television. It's something not happening again. Emmanuel Degola. Hey, Emmanuel Degola. They both know how to visit the cash app. Hey, my man. That God bless you. Any dead water can put a fire. Thank you, Emmanuel Degola. At the end of the day, my wife is a politician. I am a journalist. I love what I do. My mouth too big. No politician will tell me, say you must say this and don't say this. I want to say everything. I want to disgrace you. You try to disgrace Liberia. That's why I can't take government job. And I will never take government job. I will do what I have to do. That's why I live in one of the best countries on earth. Today, if I can't go to work, what you put in America is what you get back. There will be some type of unemployment available until I can get back on my feet. That's what they call this place the Great United States of America. The coronavirus thing that going on. Don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on America. This too shall pass. The people that are supposed to die, they will die. The people that are supposed to live, they will live. And I'm telling you, that's why you enjoy yourself as if this is your life. Because you never know when God can call your number. I'm telling you. Right now, I'm eating every day. I'm getting fat now. When coronavirus goes away, I will go back in the gym and get back in shape. I will not get my clothes down off. I will eat. Yeah. When fufu can, I will eat it. When domo can, I will eat it. Pan butter, kesawali can, I will eat it. I'm telling you. I beg here. I can't stop myself because of what? Because of who? I beg here. I will eat. Back to the field of play. The ball comes to the Widow Brown Lasana. The Widow Brown Lasana looks around, she beats her and puts it to the floor here. Floss here looks around, will he make it? No, he doesn't. Floss here, why would you do as commissioner of the National Election Commission? He said, as data analyst, I did work for George Weah. And the man they call Abu Kiri, Abu Kamara. I stole the election for George Weah. And George Weah promised that he was going to make me commissioner. And today I am a commissioner. My loyalty belongs to George Weah. Director Brown Lasana, what will you do as commissioner? The George Weah boy here when you're in the 80s and playing for IE and Lone Star. My way back boyfriend. He was the one I talked to Ellen for me to become commissioner. And my loyalty will go to him too. Basi Pemba, what would you do? He said, me, I like liquor business. Every time I drink, then my head can be telling me to chief for George Weah. So I will chief for George Weah. Josephine Kowu gay. What would you do too? As a small girl at 6, 7, 8 years old, I used to cook paya. From cooking paya, I started cooking GB.
Because everything where you go do.
And because I started cooking paya and learned how to cook GB, then I'm a woman too.
Where you go down for Abakaleke.
And shaking from the waist below is one favorite thing.
My
boyfriend, Abochie, who is the president pro tem.
Before you go for walk,
See, everything belongs to George Weah. But before I even went for the commissioner, from the hearing, they gave me something they call Commissioner Borum. They gave me my cheat sheet, my spying sheet. And from Nima, I know what's going on. I voted. So because of that, I am qualified to be a commissioner at the National Investment Commission. My people will see trouble.
Everything, now money. You go chapel, now money. You go single, now money. You go work.
Ed Nubusi, no Abodeke. I said, my man, when were you born? Hey, Ashford, don't ask me that question. You Chris? Last time why I called you, not be sure how you think give me. I was born in 1965. I became a Liberian citizen in 1982. You do the math. I said, but what about okay? But from 1965 to 82, are you telling me that you were 17 years old? Emmanuel Degola just visited the cash app again. Are you telling me you were 17 years old? He said yes, but there's nothing wrong with it now. I said, let me call Vanny Shama. Councillor Shama, how old do you have to be to become citizen of Liberia when you want to naturalize? Oh, you have to be 21 years old. One Burike, you're not qualified. You're not qualified. He said, Ashford, don't mind the people, they're useless. Let's go to Nigeria. I said, why? He said, before we go to Nigeria, let me tell you something. Joshua is a useless man. I said, why is Joshua a useless man? He said, he's useless. I said, wow. He said, my investment, the $20,000 from GT Bank, it was through my influence. The $150,000 from UBA, I was involved also. My people, they're trying to hack the show. But anyway, we ain't let good thing. You hack it all you want, but we're talking. He said the RIA road from EWA Junction to RIA. I'm involved. Even the bank in Egypt that is trying to give Joshua the loan, I'm involved also. And Joshua told me, I should try my luck. So he said, Ashford, what do you think? And I'm thinking here, I'm saying, they may want me to leave. I'm a Liberian American. Then he said, Ashford, I will make you the chairman of the Nigerian Election Commission. We will unseat Buhari. Then we'll make Joshua president of Nigeria. I said, what? You make Joshua the president of the Federal Republic of Nigeria? He said, yes. I said, he said, Joshua will be president of Nigeria and Liberia. I said, what? How can that work? He said, Ashford, trust me. I am a war new criminal. I am a crook. I am a con man. They cannot stand me. I came to Liberia on board challenge. I manipulated everything. I became a lawyer in Liberia. George Weah is so dumb. Joshua is so stupid. Joshua does not know what is going on. Joshua make me the chairman of good governance. Joshua made me chairman of anti-corruption. Joshua made me his lawyer. When the Jordanian came at the RIA, we ate $1 million. He said that Joshua man is empty in the brain, but he loved corruption. So because of that, I was able to manipulate him. Now knowing Joshua had planned for him, and this is what Joshua did in return. Go and try to be the chairman of the National Election Commission. When they reject you, I will not say anything. When you succeed in becoming the chairman, then God be with you. And then I said to him, he said, Ashford, what do you want? I said, you have to leave at once. Leave from Liberia at once. If you don't leave, Joshua will send you to jail. He said, why would Joshua send me to jail? I said, because Vanny Sherman has exposed you. He said, what did Vanny Sherman do? I said, you remember when Vanny Sherman asked you whether you were born in 1965 and you said yes. Then he asked you again, when did you become citizen? You said 1982. And Vanny Sherman said to you, if you were born in 1965 and became citizen in 1982, then you could have been 17 years old. And you said yes. And Vanny Sherman said you are a bona fide liar, because the Liberian law said you have to be 21 years old or better to become a naturalized citizen of Liberia. So based on that, Joshua has said, if you don't leave, you are on your own. And folks, at this time, I'd like to say congratulations to Mrs. Faith, Mrs. Gifty Alberta White, as she celebrates her birthday today. Congratulations. May God continue to bless you as you live to see many, many more birthdays to come. Mrs. Gifty Alberta White is celebrating her birthday today. Congratulations. Félicitations. Bon anniversaire. Oh, man. Monakoti, I'm also told your son turns 11 years old today, and he also celebrates his birthday. Congratulations. Oh, man. Let's have fun. I want to say a big thank you to our sponsors today. Those who took time out to visit the cash out. But just before then, we're going to visit, take a commercial break, and say a big thanks to our sponsors. Folks, I'm telling you, this is the brother who doesn't eat iron. Definitely stronger than a lion. Then now you know, man. Elder James C. Bly. Dumpa.
So not easy to do. Let me try to cross our room.
Flomo, the way you not interested, they will play you going so.
Lapu, I'm going right across the road to my friend. He's not doing well.
Wow. You think a risky at this time?
What they make it risky again to go to my friend that's sick?
Flomo, don't tell me say you not hear about coronavirus here. The virus are killing plenty of people around the world.
Yeah, but I want you. Tell me more about that virus.
Coronavirus, the book people call it COVID-19. That virus was discovered in China or in December last year. This virus very quick to pass from one person to another. And guess what? It even bad more than Ebola.
That's one thing you're hearing, yo.
In fact, the coronavirus is in almost all the countries in the world. And over 700,000 people around have been tested with coronavirus positive.
Let me stand up good. They think you're talking here.
Guess what again? Over 35,000 people now died. And have been reported over the world. Even Liberia has confirmed cases of this virus. So Flomo, you have to be careful.
So how I can know that the person getting now?
Easy. Some of the common symptoms of COVID-19 are fever, tiredness, dry cough, and also difficulty in breathing.
So, breathing too?
Of course.
Damn it.
Let me tell you how the book people say, yeah? They say this virus or this disease is caused by severe acute respiratory syndrome.
Huh?
That one, I didn't know what it means.
But Lopu, that's not small thing. You're already serious, oh.
Yeah, it's serious, oh. This is why WHO or the World Health Organization people say we should follow all those things for us to be safe, yeah?
What are those things the WHO people say we should do and we should not do?
Number one, the WHO people say we should stay home. No visit thing. You say you're going to visit your friend. Number two, we should not go among plenty people. You not go, you not know who get it. Number three, we should always wash our hands good with soap. Now, if you should wash your hands for at least 30 seconds because the germs can be in our hands. Also, number four, we should be 6 feet from one another. Another one again, you should not cough or sneeze openly, or woman sneeze and cough in tissue. And you know that you can do you must do it in tissue before you spread. And when you do it in tissue, you must turn the tissue in a dead pen. And lastly, the last one but not the least, you should not go close to sick people.
Lopu, you have said it all. I will follow everything the WHO people say.
Coronavirus is real. Stay home and stay safe.
This is sponsored by the Council of the Patriots, produced by British Radio Africa. That now you know, man.
Yes, coronavirus can kill.
And that's right, folks. We'd like to say a big thanks to you for taking the time of the busy schedule. And just so you know, we have just fixed up a recording studio. So if you want to have something recorded, for example, voiceover production, and you have a business you want us to advertise for your business, just feel free to contact us. Of course, we'll do that for you. And if you want to send a message out, whether you were part of a church organization, the advocacy group, of a political organization, and you want us to do a little voiceover for you, with just a little donation or contribution, we can do that for you. And we have also introduced a brand new program called Bridge Spotlight. And this is a 30-minute program that comes on Fridays, Saturdays, and Sundays. All right, you can come on any of those days, and you can talk about sports, entertainment. If you are artists and you want us to know more about you, we can also talk about those things. Politics, advocacy, you name it. Social issues, you name it. You know, if your girlfriend that you want to get married to is giving you a hard time and you can't find a solution to solve the problem. If you're having some marital issue, your husband giving you a hard time or your wife giving you a hard time, your wife said you can't touch her in the night and your husband said you can't touch her in the night. I'm an experienced coach. We can find time to talk about those things. We can also be coached in other area. If for some reason you have not eaten something for a long time and you want us to tell you how to behave so that you can eat something, we can help you also. So, I mean, that bridge radio family, you see, we build bridges, we don't burn them. So we can help out in all kinds of ways. I'm telling you, don't make no mistake. Throw no joke on this one, but we're going to go back to Information Highway where Mrs. Letty Brooks Roberts is standing by to read us a few comments, and then we'll come back. But just before she does that, I'd like to recognize our sponsors for the night, Mr. Emmanuel Decolai. Mr. Emmanuel Decolai, I want to say a big thanks to you for what you've done and continue to do for British Radio Africa. Okay? Sharon Kipak, we also want to say a big thanks to you as well. For your contribution, and let me buy that one because she want me to call her name. And Kesley Peewood, we also want to say a big thanks to you as well. And again, May God continue to bless all of you. And at this time, I want to go back to Information Hallway, where Mrs. Letty Brooks Roberts is standing by to give us some comments, and then we'll come back and conclude this political soccer game. I'm telling you, Juan Bodike and myself will go to Nigeria. I will become the chairman of the Nigerian Election Commission. And folks, I'm telling you, then he will also be my co-chair. And then George Weah will come and be the president of Nigeria after we get rid of Buhari. And then we'll come back and George Weah will be president of Nigeria and Liberia at the same time. Mr. Letty Brooks Roberts, Lord bless. Welcome. Letty?
Yes, thank you, Mr. Garley. We have Miss Florence Foley. She said George Weah's father's name is Sweet Cassava Leaf. Then we have Downlet McCauley. Citizenship for sale at Gate 1. Trucken Smith. It is very sad for an old nation that is as useless. Tara Putuway replying to Florence. Florence George Weah. Father name is not Sweet Cassava. Trust me if I tell you, my dear. Emmanuel Decola replying to Florence. Florence Foley, don't call name Yeo. Patricia Logan. Jesus. It's been long since I came on this field. Josepha Shaw Thomas. I hear that George Weah took money from some Russian in 2017. Oh, my name is Agome. That's Josepha Shaw Thomas. Elizabeth here. Elizabeth Reed. This is the kind of government Liberian people wanted. Samuel Garson Williams. I have printer at Gate 1, brother. Trucken Smith replying to Danlet. Yes, indeed. Florence Colley replying. Sarah Putuwei. What George Weah father name now? Alberta Dobro. Madam Betty Bayan. Sunshine is coming for you. We have Sophie Johnson Mason. Ashford, you full of it. Rita Bailey, I will have to check out this woman after here. Emmanuel Decola, we're not making this game lazy today. Florence Colley, replying to Florence. Emmanuel Decola, why can I call your name? Or why I cannot call name? Patricia Peters, shameful. So Liberia doesn't have educated women? Sad. Arthur Dennis, I'm waiting for my check from the government. We have Fritas Elliott. Liberia has 2 passports, and the both passports have been sold all over the world. Today, Liberians see men book in our official passports.
Yeah, they cash out here. I mean, before you continue, I want to recognize Miss Nancy Eastman. She just made her donation. And Emmanuel Decola again just did something. I'm telling you, we're having fun tonight. Go ahead, Mrs. Roberts.
Florence Colley, no players because of lockdown in houses like in jail. Elder James C. Bly Jr., how great it would be if Weah goes to the pulpit tomorrow morning to address the nation. Liberia will withdraw all those he nominated for next. What he does next, invite some brilliant, smart, very clever Liberians with political experiences for consultation of the next nomination. Mr. Cooper Kwame, he says, let the UN handle general elections around the world, especially third world countries, Liberia being one of them. Monigo Salman, she says, not CWA, she attended STC and MC. Emmanuel Decola, thank you, senior brother. Wilma Dwell, you forgot to name GB. Josepha Shaw Thomas, Letty Brooks Roberts, please tell George Weah that KGB just called and said that if he doesn't pay them back, then he should lead the
I said, guess what?
to God.
Somebody just visited the cash out. They sent me something for my trip to Nigeria. They say, I said, and he said, the person said, for your trip to Nigeria, they sent me something. And the thing that he said, Sis Letty, hey, yeah, we always have Imara Dekola, we have Sharon Kipper, and the person who sent me something now to go to Nigeria. I can't call their name. Cassidy Pewood is also here. And, hey, yeah, Nancy Eastman then. Then I follow. Go ahead.
Emmanuel Dekola said, let us fight for our family back home. Change will come one day. Igwe Sibawati, Sedation King, where are you? We have Sherry Roberts. She says, somebody please help me with...
Tonight by night, you said, Cash App waste tonight. Guess who just visited the Cash App? Koto Banayan, our sister from New York. I hope you staying safe. It's not because you know the way New York locked down tonight. So Koto Banayan, you know she working in the healthcare field now. We appreciate you, my sister. May God continue to bless you for what you do and continue to do for British Radio Africa. Because of what you do today, we have a recording studio now, so we can recall how I met God show from right here in our studio. Any of you that want to say something, you have something to say about the coronavirus, you have a message, we can record you. So the little contribution you're giving, we are making good use of it. Our people in Liberia, like your daughter, how I met God has adopted a little girl. The other day she sent a lady $100. You know, Angel Morris, the crew in Liberia. Because of you, we are paying them on time. It's not about me. I can sit down and say, you know what, I don't have to have crew in Liberia, and I will sit down here and just come on social media and do what I have to do. But at the end of the day, there are people in Liberia. Do you know that when you look out and send a salary for Angel Murray, she will take care of her family. Bob Bowley will take care of his family. Paul Connor will take care of his family. And the rest of the crew. Because when you feed one person, you are feeding a whole family. And that's what we're asking. And want to continue to praise God for what you've done and continue to do. Some of you don't want your names to be called. But you are the main people behind the whole thing. So you're in a church organization, you're a pastor. And you want us to do some type of voice or production for you. We can do that from right here in our British Radio Africa studio. You want to send a message out there to create awareness for coronavirus. We can produce it here. Use your voice. You will sound as if you're in the studio with us. That's how professional we are. If you listen to just the voice over from the awareness from the COP, it is sound like somebody on a cell phone, and we will not do production for you and make it sound like you on a cell phone. You were actually in the production studio. We went to school for this stuff. This is our area. The politician can do their job as politicians. We will do our jobs as journalists, as producers, as broadcasters. Okay? My wife will spend money. She will buy books because she loves to read. She will buy audio books. Sometimes she will take my money and buy shoes. But meanwhile, I take my money, I buy microphone, I buy studio equipment. You know? My name will put me down. Miss Roberts, continue to read.
All right. Thank you, Mr. Garley. We have Sherry Roberts. She says, somebody please help me with the name of the best cassava leader in we as government. Patrick Fong says, watching from Charlotte. Patricia Logan, I'm so loving the good music, man. Cooper Kwame, he says, what's the Cash App for? Madam Betty Bain, she says,
tell what the Cash App for, y'all. Aha.
We got an answer.
Mr. Emmanuel, they're going to just video the Cash App again. The thing I'm telling you, but listen now. Who are on VIP tonight? Mr. Emmanuel Dekola just told me that if you are in VIP, you don't have to buy food. You don't have to pay for drinks. Drinks on him, food on him, everything. And in fact, going to Nigeria with Wen Boduke Imai Dekola is saying when I go to Nigeria and they men try to sell me because Nigerian people are crooked, some of them are crooked, I should tell him you're bombing around trying to come out to America. Imai Dekola just said that to me. Go ahead, Ms. Roberts.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Garley. We have Ms. Lord Bless Son Roberts. I haven't visited the Cash App for a while. Samuel Darson Williams. He should have nailed all the false facts before speaking. Paul Nissa is watching. Irene Anderson. To pay George, somebody wanted to know what the Cash App is for. And Irene Anderson says to pay George, we have school fees. Emmanuel Dekola. God will restore Liberia again.
One more comment. We'll go back to the field of play, please.
Kali Shafa Bolu. Change will come if only our opposition see reason to do the right thing.
Thank you. Back to the field of play. Emmanuel Dekola. Emmanuel Dekola. Emmanuel Dekola promises to send me to Nigeria with a charter flight. Jennifer Salifu Gibson. My sister and friend for a long time. Aha.
But man, you will not be bachelor.
The ball comes to Vanny Sherman. Vanny Sherman looks around, he beats someone, puts it to the tournament. The ball comes to Darius DeLong, onto Oscar Cooper. These senators are no-nonsense senators. Then the ball comes to Sano Johnson, a.k.a. Iso. You can trust him sometimes, but you can't trust him all the time. Sano Johnson from Bombing County, you can't trust him. Then the ball comes to Komene Wise, onto Maurice Tuma. Maurice Tuma looks around, puts it up for the tournament. Then the ball comes back to Watson to Pay, to Steve Zako, onto Yombli Conga. That no-nonsense female senator. Yombli Conga looks around to Blubber Brown. The ball has been quickly taken away now by Flossio. Flossio looks around. He beats one, puts it to the teammate. They ask him, Flossio, why do you want to be a commissioner? He said, because I cheated for George Weah. And George Weah promised that if I do cheat for him, he will make me a commissioner. So today, I'm one of the commissioners nominated by George Weah. And don't worry, they will confirm me. Because George Weah knows how to deal with these senators. Some of them are so corrupt. They don't respect themselves. Then the ball comes by the Basi Kwengba. Babu Zan looks at Josephine Kouge. Josephine Kouge looks around. They say, hey, Josephine Kouge, why do you think you are qualified to be a commissioner? I am a woman. I can cook GB. Before I started cooking GB, I need to cook paya. Okay, now you can cook GB, you cook paya, and you are a woman. What do you think the number one problem they have there at the National Election Commission? Oh, you asking me about the number one problem? The coronavirus. Wow. Josephine Kouge. She's beautiful. She can cook GB. She can cook paya. And she can also shake from the waist below. They call this sex for job. Hey, girl. Labra finish. Then the ball comes back to A. Umbusi. Wabukite. Born 1965. Naturalized as Labra in 1982. Really? He said yes. He come to find out he lied. He lied about his citizenship. He lied about his naturalization. Then because he saw me there coming from America, he said, Ashford, Garley, this is what we can do. Let's go to Nigeria. I said, I am a Liberian, but I have a U.S. citizen. He said, don't worry. I got your back. Don't worry. I said, what do you mean? He said, don't worry, Ashford. He said, you are going to have 3 tattoos. I said, what are those tattoos? He said, you are going to be a Liberian American Nigerian. You are in fact going to be the chairman of the Nigerian Election Commission. I said, that means you are going to be the co-chair. He said, exactly what I'm saying. I said, what does that mean for Buhari? He said, we are going to unseat him.
Everything where you go do.
I said, who will be the president of Nigeria? He said, Josh Weah. I said, why? He said, Joshua will be the president of Nigeria. Joshua will also be the president of Nigeria. I said, how can that be? He said, my brother, leave
Go
that.
go school, oh. They no go go.
I said, you are so connected, well connected with Joshua. He said, yes.
And by when
I said, why?
before you go for work,
He said, my investment.
na money.
The 20,000 I came from GT Bank,
For your children,
I have something to do with it.
abi, na money.
The 150,000 US dollar that came from the UBA, I also have something to do with it. The RIA road project, my hand are involved. And Joshua said to me, I'm going to take the risk this time
Believe. Today I believe. But the
to
man,
send your name.
you will not be bachelor. Oh. Some
And then one Budike just confessed to me few minutes ago, folks.
na wow.
When Budike just confessed to me, he said
Na money. You go chop, oh.
the reason that George Weah put forth his name
You go work out.
is to confuse the rest of the world, confuse the Liberian people.
Na wow.
They will be concerned about one Budike, and then the senator will confirm
Na wow.
all the other people. The next thing you know, they will reject one Budike. George Weah will steal the coronavirus $15 million. George Weah will make sure the senators confirm Josephine Kouge, Councillor Ernestine Marking Hour, Basi Kwengba, Flosser, all those people will be confirmed. You know what that would mean for Liberia? Opposition politician Garley Unwego. Folks, think about it. A big thanks to all of you for taking up time tonight of your busy schedule. That's all the time we have to be with you. But just before we take leave of you, Mrs. Letty Brooks Roberts will come back to give us her parting comments. Mrs. Roberts.
Yes, thank you, Mr. Garley. Thank you to our Bridge Radio family. Thank you all for making Bridge Radio your entertainment of choice. With all of the choices you have, you come here every evening to support us. But as we close, Mr. Garley, I just wanted to point out this last day of March, as March was Women's History Month, it is appalling to hear a woman nominated for a prestigious, credible position, and all she can say is because her qualification is that she's a woman. You know, with women trailing in the hierarchy of Liberian politics and other sectors, she had a chance to stand out, and she just used her sexism as a qualification. But again, we have a big job to do. Women, we carry the world. We are the nurturers of the environment and of the world. So
One minute, please.
When a woman tries to take advantage of that, of her feminism, it's appalling. Thank you for your time. Thank you for the opportunity. God bless you all.
And thank you, Mrs. Roberts. And folks, I'm afraid that's all the time I have to be with you. God willing, we'll be back tomorrow afternoon, tomorrow night, same time, same place. Until then, please allow me to borrow the words of the wise man. Tough times don't last, tough people do. The heart of a man is never known until he rises. This has been yours truly, but just before that, but Nancy Eastman, thank you so much for your contribution. Sharon Kipper, thank you.
Everything where you go do.
Kessely,
That's
that's right. Thank you, Kessely. Imada Dekola. And folks, this has been yours truly. Ashford the giant, the brother who doesn't eat iron, but he's definitely stronger than the lion. That's why they call him the Now You Know Me, one copy Garley. Don't forget now to join us tomorrow night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Share the video, like the video, follow us, and go check us out on YouTube as well. Until then, have a good night. Ashford the giant, and Now You Know Me, Garley. God bless you all. Aha.
Call where you go, catch you for bed. Now, wow. Everything, now money. You go chop, now money. You go single, now money.